and welcome back to my YouTube channel and to my get ready with me for date night video. So I've just been in the bath, I've used my favourite Jo Malone oils, and then I'm just sorting out my brows and prepping my skin for makeup. So using the Roche Efflaclar Matte Moisturiser and the Roche SPF 50 Sun Protection, I'm just rubbing those together and popping them all over my skin. And then I use the Kheils Hydrating Moisturiser, the oil-free version, so it doesn't make my skin oily throughout the day, but it still adds that really good hydration that my skin really needs. And then using the Giorgio Armani Glow On Moisturising Balm. I actually use this more as a primer. It's just really lovely, it sets my skin really well for makeup, and it does have a lovely glow, so really nice to wear for those special no makeup days. Just a touch of Vaseline and I'm ready for makeup. So I'm using the Giorgio Armani Fluid Sheer in shade 13. You can see that this is a really yellow gold, but blended with foundation it looks really nice. So using the Luminous Silk in shade 5.25 and using my Real Techniques Beauty Sponge, I'm just blending that all over my skin and making sure that I take it to the ears and down the neck. My outfit is in low cut or strapless, so I don't need too much makeup on my neck and chest, but I just want a little bit to blend it all in. And then I go in with the Power Fabric Foundation in shade 5.75, and I love to use this as well for more full coverage look. I only apply a little bit more to the T-zone and to my cheeks to cover up any redness, but you can see that it totally makes a difference to the base, and it does add a lot more coverage. And then using the Power Fabric Concealer, so this is a really similar shade to my foundation, slightly lighter but not too much. I like to use this to cover and for acne. Rather than highlighting spots, I like to use a similar shade, and then I go in with the Too Faced Super Full Coverage Concealer, and I use this to highlight and to bring out my jawline as it isn't very defined. So I pop that under my cheekbones, I pop it a little bit under my eyes to mix with the Power Fabric Concealer, down the centre of my nose and my T-zone and my chin and upper lip. You can see that I look a little bit ridiculous at the end of this, but it's worth it. So just using my Real Techniques Beauty Sponge, I'm just blending all of that in, and you can see it sinks into the skin really well. And then using the Urban Decay Translucent Setting Powder, I'm just using my Real Techniques Concealer Brush just to set that around my eyes, and then using my Bare Minerals powder brush to set the rest of my skin. I only put the powder where I don't put bronzer, so it's more on my T-zone and under my eyes. And then using the Chanel Soleil De Tan and an angled Real Techniques brush, I just really work that into the skin. I really love to use this as a base. Again, it's more coverage, because it's a little bit thicker being a cream product. It really warms up the skin, it sinks into the skin really nicely, and I think it defines those like cheekbones and jaw more than a powder does. I did try to contour my nose with this and it didn't work too well, so I do go back over my nose with powder. I think a powdered nose contour is a lot easier, but I do love using creams for the rest of my face. So I'm just using my Real Techniques sponge again. I literally use this for everything and I love it. Then using a Dior bronzer, when I speak properly, I'm just warming up my skin, and I take this right down to my chest and my neck as well, and then along my nose. And this just deepens the bronzing a little bit more, and I also take it under my lip for that fuller lip effect before applying lipstick. And then using a Chanel blusher, I'm just adding blusher to the apples of my cheeks, and then using the Backstage Dior Glow Palette, I just use a little bit of the highlighter and a little bit of the bronzer, but not too much. I wanted this to be more matte. I was really inspired by Makeup by Ariel and like Kylie Jenner matte look, so I didn't add too much highlight for this. just a little bit to emphasise like my nose, the top of my cheekbones, but nothing major. And then using a Rimmel London Brow Mascara, I'm just combing through my brows just to set them and keep them in place. And then I go in with a L'Oreal eyebrow pencil. It's got a pencil on one side and a highlighter on the other, and I really love it. It reminds me a lot of Precisely My Brow, and I just love that. And then using the MAC Warm Neutral palette, I'm using the terracotta shades to go through the crease and just to make that perfect V in the corner of my eye. And I do take it onto the lids as well, just to add a really nice base. This is a very matte eye look using 3 different shades, and I really love it. So any tan shade you've got would be perfect for this, even a bronzer you could use. And I take that underneath the eye as well with a smaller brush. And I'm just making sure that's all blending out with a clean blending brush. I'm always blending the edges when doing my eyeshadow. And then using more of a warmer brown copper shade. This has a little bit of sparkle to it, but nothing major. I'm using this on either corners of the eye and throughout the crease, but I'm keeping the centre of the eye plain because I want that to kind of bring out the eye and highlight and lift the lid a little bit more. It just helps to open up the eyes a little bit when you're using such dark eyeshadows. So I just keep on going over that, patting more and more colour on and making it deeper and deeper. And taking that shade all across underneath my eye as well. And I do go back over like my powder and under my eyes just to make sure that there's no fallout, and I do this a couple of times. Then using the dark brown shade from the MAC palette, I'm taking this on either corner. I don't take this through the crease too much. I kind of just want it to emphasise the corners. I didn't want to really close the eye up, so I use this sparingly. And I just kept on blending it out and making sure that the outer V of my eye stayed perfect and in shape. And I just take that underneath the eyes as well, so then you've also got a layer of colour under the eye so it looks more smoky. And then using the MAC paint pot in shade Painterly, I add this to the centre of my eye and dab it out, and then I use the terracotta shade back over the top, because this makes sure that it stays highlighted, makeup stays in place. It's very thick, but you can see it really brings out the lid of my eye. And then using a L'Oreal eyeliner in shade Copper, I'm just popping this through my waterline just to darken the waterline. It really suits the second eyeshadow that I used without being too dark. I really love this shade for spring summer. And then using my Lancome mascara, I'm just coating my lashes. It is quite a thick mascara, but it is jet black, which I love. But you do have to be careful that it doesn't clump the lashes up too much, which I find sometimes I can struggle with a little bit. But if you love thick lashes, then this would be perfect for you. And I love the brush too, it's curved, so I find it really easy to apply. It's not very often that I make a mess with this mascara. So I'm just making sure that I get every single lash. I want jet black lashes for an evening out. And then I'm just going back over my eyebrows and adding the highlighter side underneath, just to bring the arch up a little bit. Helps just to lift the face, but I'm not adding too much highlight. And then I also use it on the inner corners of my eye as well. Be careful not to move like the dark shadow. You don't want that ending up on the inner corner of your eye. It'll look like you've done your makeup wrong. So I love that highlight. And then just using a nude lip liner and just overlining my lips. I definitely need to invest in some more nude lip liners, so stay tuned because there are a few different lip looks coming soon. So I just overline my lips, and then using a Charlotte Tilbury lipstick in shade Kim K, I believe it is, I'll link it down below. It's the Kim Kardashian shade. It's the perfect pink nude. I really love it, and that is the finished makeup look, which I really love. And then I just go on to do my hair. So just brushing it through with a Tangle Teezer. I don't show too much of me doing my hair in this video. I don't think I'm particularly amazing at styling my hair or anybody else's. It's not something I'm very confident with. And I'm about to change my hair up quite a bit actually, so you might be seeing a bit of a change within the next few months. You can see Winnie in the background. And I just take my GHD Hair Straighteners. I'm just adding soft waves into the bottom of my hair, so it kind of goes straight and then more wavy. And that is the finished look. I hope that you enjoyed this video, and please like, comment and subscribe. Thank you.